What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Don't Forget to Rotate. Once again, I'm here with the homie George, just chilling over there. Doing it a little bit different. George might sound a little bit different because his laptop his laptop suffered a major loss. The charger has went AFK. We don't know where it's gone, so he's on his iPad today.
Yeah, I mean, does the sound alright to you?
You sound alright, mate. It's not the best, not the worst, but
I think the camera quality is better.
yeah, your camera's definitely better, I'll tell you that, mate. Mate, that camera looks like just as good as this, and this is like a 300 quid camera setup here.
It's crisp.
But yeah, so today there's not really any topics that we've got in store. We've not really got anything that we want to talk about. This episode, we are literally just shooting from the hip. Just whatever comes to mind, talk about it. And as per usual, you know the deal. We are going to round the show off with our CDL pick'ems and let you guys know what we think is going to happen this weekend. Now, buddy, how you been? How you been?
I'm alright, to be honest. Busy day at work, but that's every day at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, start the new financial year, and in your job, everything's going to be absolutely mental, isn't it? So,
well, that's the thing. Like, our busy time is typically Jan through to March, but it's in more recent years, it's now become all year round. just because of client base and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose January through March, it's the end of the financial year. Everyone's trying to get their ducks in a row, as it was. So, you know, I mean, that's when you're going to be swamped.
Well, that's the thing. We have most common financial year ends are December and March.
Yeah.
You know, some people do calendar year, some people do tax year. So they're your most common ones. And yeah, so, and especially because we work from home full time at the moment, getting things over the line is not always the easiest thing to do.
I can imagine. But other than that, you've been playing anything different recently. I know we tried a little bit of Warzone again recently. We tried a bit of Warzone.
We did.
Again.
It did not go well, did it? It did not go well.
I've been playing it a lot more. Honestly, I've been playing it a lot more and I've been enjoying it. I've found some loadouts that work for me. The M16. Oh boy, is that gun broken, man. So
nice.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable.
I've been, bit of league play. Bit of Brawl Stars on my phone as well.
Oh, okay.
I also play, the Witcher 3 card game. Have you heard of it?
Gwent. Yeah.
The standalone version. I play a bit of that from time to time, just because you can get a few games in fairly quickly.
Fair enough. Right? Fair enough.
It's a weird card game as digital card games go. But it's a decent bit of fun.
Mate, I could never get the hang of that. Like, even when I was playing through The Witcher, trying to play it in The Witcher, I could not get the hang of it.
Mate, the one in The Witcher, you just click randomly and hope that something good happens.
Yeah.
Right? But, yeah. No, the actual standalone, I find digital card games are like, you either love them or you hate them at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know many people who play them.
For me, obviously, the thing we speak about most in this is Call of Duty. I think it's safe to say it's very obvious what my favourite game franchise is to people that know me, and even to people
Warcraft, isn't it?
Wrong, League of Legends, actually, funnily enough. But yeah, no. So for me, it's mainly FPS. But I cannot. Oh, mate. I cannot wait. The one game I cannot wait for, because everything we've heard about Call of Duty that's coming out this year does not sound good. So the game that's got me really excited this year is Halo. I cannot wait for Infinite to come out this year. I am so excited for that.
I mean, you know me. I've never truly been into Halo the way.
Me and Kyle have tried.
Yourself and Kyle have, yeah. No, I mean, I've played a few, because you bought me for Christmas. You bought me that.
I can't remember if it was Master Chief Collection. Was it Master Chief Collection I got you?
The one that gave me like 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
Chief Collection.
So me and Kyle played through 2, I think.
Yeah.
We started playing through. I don't think we got very far, but it was a good bit of fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with Infinite as well. I think this is going to be cross-platform, so I can play it in PC as well, which I'm excited about. I know, obviously, Kyle's trying to get the new Xbox at some point. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you're going to get the new
I
one.
will
Or...
probably get the new Xbox, but I'm not
Fair
breaking
enough.
my back to get it.
Oh yeah, I completely get that.
As
Completely
long
get
as
that.
this one as long as my One S keeps going, I'll keep playing.
Yeah, pretty much
Yeah,
standard into.
yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know how long the shortages are going to go on for, but it's
well,
not too good, is it?
This is the thing. As much as you like, people listening to this or people watching this, if you're watching it on YouTube, might be watching thinking, "Oh, this is like a Call of Duty podcast or a gaming podcast." Because this is the thing. As much as we've spoke a lot about Call of Duty, we don't want to just stick to Call of Duty. We want to touch on gaming generally and touch on like general subjects of it. But this does impact gamers. Doesn't matter whether you're PC, console, whatever. But the big issue is like Nvidia, Intel, a lot of these big corporations that make the chips. Like, as much as you might think Nvidia, Intel, what's that got to do with console gaming? What chips are powering the new PlayStations and the Xbox? It's the new AMD chips. So, like AMD, Intel, Nvidia, they're all saying they don't think that this shortage and this backlog will actually resolve itself until this time next year.
Is it something to do with silicon?
Yeah, there's a global silicon shortage right now, and due to that, there's only I think two major factories. There's one major factory in Texas, and one is a Chinese manufacturer. They're the two major companies, and their factories are working at 100% capacity right now, purely just because there's so many things coming out, so many things launching, so much demand for stuff. So
bottlenecks, I guess.
Yeah, we've seen obviously a lot in recent years, streaming becoming a lot more popular, PC gaming becoming a lot more popular, new consoles coming out, gaming as a hobby. It used to just be like kind of teenagers that done it and like people in their 20s. Now people that have grown up doing it are continuing later on into their like 30s, 40s, that kind of thing. So there's more demand generally for it. So bad news for you, unfortunately. If you are a gamer and you're trying to get a hold of one of these new bits of hardware, good luck for the next year at least, because
the good news is
it's not looking good.
I mean, the good news is that Xbox Ones, PS4s aren't going to be outdated yet.
No, not yet.
They're not going to be cancelled.
Yeah.
So you still got another year to ride it out, I think.
I mean, that's the thing. It's as it stands. I know the next Call of Duty is still going to be backwards. It's still going to come out in the now old gen of consoles. I believe Halo Infinite is. GTA finally comes to the next gen consoles with the next gen build later on this year as well. Although, let's be honest, when it comes to GTA, we don't care. We just want GTA 6 at this point. I'm done with GTA 5. Just give me GTA 6 at this point. Come on. But the thing is, Rockstar, they're making some amount of money from the online transactions in GTA currently, so I don't think that's going to be going anywhere for a while.
It's one of those.
Oh man,
where,
it's a pain.
You know, if you got what they call it, a bit of a cash cow on your hands.
Yeah.
Let it run its course.
Oh no, GTA 5's definitely been a cash cow for Rockstar.
No point rocking the boat just yet. If it's still making bank.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, man. I'm hoping that everything kind of resolves itself soon, and you can actually see like the products actually getting into the hands of gamers instead of scalpers, and it's just not fun. It's not fun being a gamer right now.
No, but you know what? This scalper thing, this aftermarket thing, it's a problem across multiple industries. You know, there are pairs of like trainers that I've tried to buy before. You know, you don't get them in like a raffle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the aftermarket price and it's 4 or 5 times the value.
Yeah, like you look at like StockX and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
When the
StockX,
Yeezys and the Jordan Air ones came back out again. Like they were selling for like $1,000, $2,000, and like, if not more.
Exactly.
It's mad.
I had a pair. I bought a pair of Air Force One utilities on Depop from someone. I got them. So they were. I think retail price was about 110.
Mm-hmm.
I got them for like 130.
Not the worst.
Now they're worth like 600 quid. I mean,
oh God,
I've battered them, so
you wouldn't get that.
Anytime soon. I wouldn't get any money for it.
No, I get that.
No, it's aftermarket stuff kills.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's the thing. People are always looking to make a profit and stuff now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And with
exactly.
the internet, it's so much easier to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But by the way, speaking of making bank, when it comes to their CDL pick'ems, you made bank with a big pick
Oh,
the
mate. Oh, you
weekend,
know what? I was
mate.
looking for a
That
segue to get
that
onto this.
that New York Atlanta game, I did not expect that.
I was looking for a way to get onto this as well.
I did not expect that. Like,
Mate.
holy. Like,
Mate.
my picks Thursday and Friday were fantastic. Like, Friday, I got
Yeah.
everything bang on.
I think you did, yeah.
I think the only game I got wrong all weekend was FaZe New York, I think. Maybe. Like,
I mean, there's only one way to find out, isn't there?
yeah, we'll have
Have
a
you
look
got
at that
last
in a
week's
little bit.
ones?
Yeah, I can pull them up. What we'll do now, actually, is
We might as well have a little look.
we'll throw over to it now. Right, okay, these are my predictions for this week, so we're not going to take a look at these real quick. We'll go back up to London.
The headline results. Let's be completely honest. The headline results were Rocker Mutineers. Didn't really expect that one.
Yeah, like you can see on screen here, like I didn't get the exact score lines right for everything, but I still got okay. So I got Rocker Mutineers wrong as well. Take that back. I got Rocker, but Mutineers that changed with Havoc must be working wonders because I would never have took Mutineers to beat Rocker.
I watched
before this.
and I was, generally speaking, I was disappointed with Rocker because they just didn't perform.
Yeah,
It's like the thing is they spent time getting their hard point right, and then S&D suffered, and now they've drifted back over where hard point's starting to suck again.
yeah.
But the search isn't there either. So, it's not a great outlook at the moment. But
You want to know the one result about this weekend that done my head in? By the way,
go on.
first game of the weekend, Dallas versus Paris. Right, Paris managed to take a map against Dallas. Right, but then on Saturday, when I predict them to lose 3-1 to Gorillas, they can't take a map for Gorillas, but they could take one for that. Like, come on, man.
And then Dallas obviously made that truly questionable change.
Oh, see,
And
this
then
is the
they
thing.
got 3-0.
Crims came out and said it's not anything to do with Hughes' skill. It's more the routes he was taking in the map and the way he was playing the map. It didn't fit with the overall team.
I did see a few things on that, but then you're going to get stomped 3-0 by Toronto.
Oh, God, tell me
Toronto are playing very, very, very good Call of Duty at the moment.
Oh, they are.
But you wouldn't expect Dallas to get 3-0 by them, with or without Hugh.
No, not at all. Not at all. Now, however, other than that, I've done pretty well at the weekend. Obviously, called the Optic Ravens score correctly. That, I'll be honest with you, when it got to that map 3, I was like, yeah, no, Optic are 3-0 in this. Like, I'm not getting match points. Then somehow Ravens took that control. I don't know how, but fair play they did. So,
Ravens taking a control is a surprising one.
I mean, to be honest with how well they played against Optic, I thought Sunday morning they'd have done better against Thieves. So I thought my 3-2, my 3-2 was on for one there as well, but unfortunately not. Well, it is what it is. But
now we talk about the big one, and that's the important one.
The one I got wrong right here.
And the one I made the call of.
Yep.
To be fair, we had a bet. I can't remember what the bet was. It might have been a pint. Was it a pint?
Maybe. But anyway, let's transition over and have a look at yours for last week.
Go on.
So, again, you thought that our Thursdays were the exact same. Our Thursdays, we had the same pick'ems.
Yeah.
You got Thieves Surge wrong. Surge, like, I don't know. That Thieves team in their honeymoon period, they just looked a little too good for Surge, the now who have been very hit and miss for me. So, hence why I went the other way.
Kenny looks sick on the main AR role as well.
I mean, that's the thing with Kenny as well, though. It's like he's not your traditional main AR. He's kind of bringing a new play style to the main AR role, which kind of fits the more modern games better, because these modern games have been a lot more about movement and aim as opposed to positioning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's looking good. But, yeah, so I think Optic Ravens, we both thought the same thing. We both thought that would be a... Well, no, I said 3-1 for that, didn't I? You went 3-0. You were more confident than me in that one.
Yeah, and that did not play out. I just couldn't see them. I just didn't think they'd take any map from them. Really, like they're not particularly strong at any game mode. So I was just a bit surprised that they took a map.
Yeah, no, I get that. Paris Gorillas, you thought Gorillas would lose 3-2. They came out in sweat. They just came out in sweat.
Not a good pick. Not a good pick.
Again, both of us backed Rocker. Both of us got that wrong. What can you do? I mean...
It's one of those. I'm disappointed, but at the same time...
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. There's still 4 more games to go.
And you did get Optic Surge right. You thought Optic would win it. However, you did get the map count wrong. You thought Surge would take 2. Which... I mean, this is the thing. I can't blame you based on Surge's recent form. Like, when Surge have looked good recently, they have looked very good. So, I can't really blame you on that. That's the thing.
Like, there's just a weak link in that team, and we talked about it via text already, and it's just... There's got to be a change made.
For me,
now.
it's Looney, yeah. Like, I'll say it. I don't care. I'll say it. For me, it's Looney. I think Looney's the issue with that team right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he's very much an X factor. Like, if he goes off, they will have a good series. But Looney's one of the older players in the league right now, and I don't think he can keep up with these young guns that are coming up as much now. Like, I think Looney, he might do better as maybe a AR role now, or he might find it more beneficial moving into like coaching, but I just don't think he has the... Like, don't get me wrong, Looney is one of the smartest players in the game. When it comes to like your what's known as COD IQ, Looney's up there.
Yeah.
But in terms of raw gun skill, I just don't think he's on... Or not even gun skill, because he can still shoot pretty straight, but in terms of just general mechanics, I don't think he's in the level of the new kids coming through now.
People keep talking about like these intangible benefits that he might bring to the team, like comms and you know, being a smart player and all that. But when you're going 7 and 18 in a hard point or whatever he went in the one game, at what point do numbers actually matter? Yeah. If you're getting outslayed, being smart about it isn't going to help you.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, it's like, even at that, if you're having a bad game kill-wise, you need to be smarter. You need to be playing the off angles, try to catch them off guard.
Yeah.
At that point. And I don't know. Thieves Ravens, you got bang on. You said 3-1. Ultra Dallas. Ultra versus Empire. You thought Empire maybe have that run form. They'd come back, beat Ultra. They got smacked. Like,
in my defence, that was pre-substitution of Hook.
True, this is true.
Don't know whether it.
However, I still don't think even before Hook getting dropped, I don't think they'd have won that. But it was like George, he thought Dallas on that climb back up just for Ultra to come in, boom, sit down. No, it's not happening.
Back down, sit down.
And then, of course, before that though, your big talking point, the one I know you're eager to dive into. New York Subliners 3, Atlanta FaZe 2.
Yeah, man.
I would not have saw that coming. Hydra, though, can we talk about Hydra?
He's very good. He's very good.
I cannot wait to see this guy's future in the league. Again, it's another European player coming in and looking absolutely insane in the league. Ultra, full of European players, won the last major. Hydra coming in. New York are now beating FaZe. Like, is this the era of the EU player in Call of Duty?
So there's 2 ways to look at this game. The one is that FaZe weren't up to standard, and the other
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch
New York. That New York just played fucking top tier COD.
Yeah,
and it's a bit of both, really. If I'm honest, like FaZe weren't. You know, weren't doing usual FaZe things. I mean, Simp was doing Simp things and going, you know...
Simp's always going to do Simp things. So,
you know, in the hard point, he's there on, like, 35 and 22 or something. And, you know, It's just
Don't get me
like
started.
you had Clayster going off, and then you had Hydra going off as
Mm-hmm.
well, and then you had Azim and Mac just doing their jobs.
Oh yeah,
So it was a good team effort.
definitely. I mean, that's the thing. Where as long as like no one needs to go majorly off, as long as everyone in the team's pulling their weight and doing the job they
Yeah,
need to do, that's all you need.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, no, it's definitely
But it was
definitely interesting.
a good series, to watch. It is.
Oh no, definitely, definitely. But anyway, we will go back to that screen a little bit later on for the pick'ems for this weekend, which I'm excited about this weekend, by the way. We've got some good matches. We've got some very good matches.
Yes.
FaZe Thieves, this will be a really big test for that new Thieves roster. FaZe London, again, London made a change. They brought in Zaptius, who he did look good against Optic. Again, big test for him. Optic Thieves.
That's a big game.
That's obviously the Hex nade shot, the Scump nade shot rivalry right there. Obviously, a lot of people that are fans of Optic are fans of 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an interesting one. That's going to be a very, very big one. Ultra Rocker. Ooh, not gonna lie, mate. I'm not feeling too hopeful for you guys
No,
on that one.
I'm not. But if we'll get onto that with my pick 'em.
Oh god, yeah, god. So a lot of big games this weekend, and it is looking very, very interesting. Now, here's the topic I want to talk about.
Go on.
The latest patch. Obviously, CDL, they play for the full season. They play on whatever patch was out at the start of the season. Their accounts have got a restriction on it that stops them from updating through the full season. They play on that patch. With the new patch that is now nerfed snaking a little bit, it's made certain guns a little bit better, certain guns a little bit worse. Do we think that that was just, it caught teams off first weekend, or do we think that that will actually make a big change? Because I don't even know if they're playing it, because it came out like a day or two before the weekend.
I don't think they are.
So I don't think they're playing on it this, actually. So I don't know. Next stage 4, they'll be playing on it. Do you think that's going to make a big difference or not?
It's hard to say really, because the main difference that I saw was the SMG foregrip nerfs. Like I watched an attached video where he had a foot race with another player across the back of Checkmate.
Yeah.
And they sprinted across. Him with the AK-74U with the speed grip, and then the Krig with the equivalent speed grip, and the Krig was faster.
Yeah.
And I think it's not. It doesn't make sense for that to be faster.
That did
Obviously,
get reverted, though. That has been reverted.
You are right. You are right. But I've just seen something else recently, like earlier today, about again players that feel slow using the 74U.
See, this is because submachine guns, even without the speed grip, were the quickest guns in the game. So what they've done now is they want to make it so that pistols, obviously, a pistol's a lot smaller than an SMG. Or pistols have the quickest base movement speed, and to get to that speed now, you need to use the speed grip. So with the speed grip now, players will be feeling like they did without it before. So obviously, yes, that will understandably make them feel like they're playing a little bit slower. But I feel like that's balanced.
What I think this means is we might actually see more guns in like stage 4. I think you could see people running around with a Milano.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely think the FAR is going to fall into meta.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. Envoy, obviously, Optic have stopped streaming scrims for now, so we can't really see them. But according to what has been said on the Optic podcast and other various bits of Optic content, Envoy's been using the Milano in certain maps and like certain hills, and he has been frying with it. Now, this is the thing. The thing that surprises me is, at least obviously, because we all know about class switching. Class switching pros have been doing that since the start of the year. The gun that has the best mobility out of the SMG category right now, I believe, is the Bullfrog, which is the Bison, essentially. Like, I'm surprised players don't use it. Yeah, I'm surprised. Not even necessarily using that in game, but players aren't using that to class switch with for that like speed benefit. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, I get it. If you mess up your class switch, you're stuck with a bullfrog, and is it worth the risk? I don't know, but like that thing, the movement speed on it is insane to the point where like it's now becoming one of the standout meta guns in Warzone as well. And for an SMG to do that, especially in this meta, takes a bit. But I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting though, and I do think the FAMAS or the FFAR will come back in somewhere form. It does look to be quite a good mid-range gun again, mid to close range. But I don't know. I'm seeing it a lot more in league play as well. Now
Well,
seeing...
that's the thing. Like someone mentioned like it getting a couple of buffs, and I was like, I'll set up a class.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if I was playing with you or if you like Will or Adam and that. And I tried using it, and the initial recoil kick, like the first bullet, was just like after that first bullet, the recoil was just bouncing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't use this. But I tried it again recently, and it was much better. It was much easier to control.
See this thing here, this right analog stick. I know it looks like it's left on the screen because my camera's flipped, but see this right analog stick? Pull it down.
I don't need to
and
hear
move
this.
it a little bit to the left.
Yeah, no, I don't need to hear this. I don't need to hear this.
Okay, that's what you do.
I'm not happy with it.
I'm sorry.
No, but even with the recoil control that I would normally apply to say a Krieg or an XM4,
oh no,
it was still bouncing.
Yeah, the FAR's got a lot more recoil.
Yeah,
so you need to crank it a bit more.
That said, like I say, a couple of days ago, tried it again. They've done something to it because it's not as bad.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the setup you're running for it as well. Obviously, the attachments obviously negate certain things.
I don't need your little controller 101s though. You can give your head a wobble over that.
Oh, I mean, you're playing an Xbox controller actually, so the other controller 101 I was going to get you was get one of these, but you play an Xbox, so you know.
I did have a look at like scuff controllers, but
it's one of those ones I'd love to actually spend the money to get a proper scuff. Like, don't get me wrong, this back paddle attachment is fantastic.
Yeah.
The DualShock back paddle attachment, I have had no issues with it. But with everything going on now, I've got like two stag do's, one wedding coming up, and a load of other stuff. So money is having to be saved right now.
It's not something I want to pay for right now, really. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I want to go on holiday.
No, tell me about it, mate. Especially with COVID being lifted. It's
mate, I want to go.
Let me go. But I don't know. Right. Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Because I don't want to just sit here and talk about CDL all podcast again. We have got some multiplayer fans that watch this, and we've got quite a few single player fans that watch this. Have you been playing anything single player lately? And no, Gwent doesn't count.
No, that don't count. The most recent game I was playing single player would have been Witcher 3.
Yeah.
And I did give Sekiro a go.
I've still not tried
that. But it was rock solid. It was very hard.
I mean, it's Dark Souls, but basically
it's
Oriental.
In terms of, it's a very fun, like it's a game that makes you want to get good at it. But oh my god, it's a tough one. But they're the most recent ones. And you're still going back 6-7 months of when the last time I played either of them.
No, but the Sekiro one. The Sekiro one really hits me because it's like I could not tell you the amount of times I've played through Dark Souls 3 at this point. Like, honest to God, that is one of my favourite single-player games. Cyberpunk, I'm slowly making my way through that as well.
Have you had any trouble with that?
No issues at all.
Because there was a hell of a lot of backlash over it.
Oh, yeah, I know. And there was actually an update that came out today as well that fixed a few more things. But
Carl said he ain't run into any difficulties either. So
no, obviously, because I was staying with him for a little bit, whenever I was there, never saw any issues with it.
It's mad.
So
I don't understand the level of outrage that people had over it.
It's because people expect games nowadays to look like they're in 8K HDR and run at 200 FPS and be absolutely perfect. And if it's short of that, they always just like find something to complain about.
See,
For me, I don't care too much about how a game looks. I care about the story. I care about the actual gameplay aspect of it. So it's like, as long as I'm hitting 60 FPS and I can do whatever I need to do, I don't care.
there's two sides to this really for me, and that is one. There's an important requirement for, you know, top game titles to be put out in a playable, reasonable standard.
Yeah.
But it does feel like that there's this sort of shift to where they kind of rush to release a game and then provide it with plenty of support for the next few years. My example of that is No Man's Sky. I don't know if you ever played it.
No.
But that was nowhere near what it was meant to be on launch.
Yeah.
And
I remember hearing all the drama about it. I never played it, but I remember
so much backlash. There was something about a blooming, false advertising claim against them and all this nonsense. But then Hello Games really invested into the next 3-4 years of updates. Now, it's a dangerous precedent to set, I think, because now they've got this good rep, because they've backed themselves and they've really invested into it. It sets a dangerous precedent that companies can put out half-produced pieces of tosh.
Call of Duty every year.
Yeah. And as long as they work on it for the next 2 years, they get a good rep anyway.
This thing, Call of Duty don't even have the luxury of that because they're still in that cash printing cycle of new game every year.
It'll always be in that cycle, though.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Everything I've heard, going on for what you're saying about games launching half finished and then having to update them throughout the life cycle of the game, Call of Duty's got a much shorter life cycle than most other games. I think we can all agree on that. No issue there.
Yeah.
But with everything I'm hearing about this new Call of Duty World War II Vanguard, if there was ever a time to just support a game for a second year, this year's the year that they should be doing it. I don't care whether it's, I would rather it's Cold War, don't get me wrong, but I don't care if it's Cold War. I don't care if you bring back Modern Warfare for another season. From everything we are hearing right now about World War II Vanguard, it is not in a fit state to be played. It's not in a fit state for any sort of gameplay. It's not being integrated with Warzone at all. So that's Activision's golden egg, their cash cow of Warzone, now being completely separate from the multiplayer franchise. I don't see where they go with it this year. I really don't.
Is it? Yeah, because I was watching Tactical Rab talk about this really, because apparently there was a rumor started that it was being canned for a year.
Yeah.
Anyway, it turns out that
came out to be false, though.
Yeah, it was made up anyway, but it does have you thinking, doesn't it? Like, what if the game gets put off for another year? Do they play Cold War again for another year? Do you just run that again?
I would personally.
Cold War's not a bad COD.
No.
By any stretch. Like you say, it's an easy win is to just put out a remaster. Do people really want that? Probably not.
No.
Would people like Cold War?
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to bring out Black Ops 2 again, I'm all for it. But
I'd take Modern Warfare 2 again.
If we're talking Modern Warfare, I loved Modern Warfare 2, but I had so much more fun in Modern Warfare 3.
Modern Warfare 2 is my favourite game.
Fair enough.
It's the first COD I played. It's the first COD I owned. We've talked about this before. First COD I owned. It just holds a special place.
No, I get that. I get that completely.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I suppose Cold War with as many throwback maps as you can think, that might keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Just bring back all of the classic maps that people like.
I mean, we're getting Standoff this season.
Yeah, getting Standoff.
We've got Express back. We've got Raid back. They've brought back Summit in Warzone.
Summit, yeah.
Summit's in Warzone. What else have we got now? They're bringing back a lot of old maps, so it's I don't know if that's an indicator or something, or I don't know. Because don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying playing these old maps that we know are fundamentally good maps, right? But
Yeah.
my issue is bring out something new that has the same fundamentals as these maps. Don't bring out all these, like, because there's not really been a map in the past couple of years that has been an iconic Call of Duty map for the right reasons.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of iconic Call of Duty maps for the wrong reasons. Gustav Cannon, World War II. Ramaza. Azir Cave. I can't even remember the other one. What was that one in Modern Warfare that had the trench up one side of it? I don't know. But there's a lot of maps that are infamous for the wrong reasons. They need to just go back, look at what makes maps good. Don't try this whole, oh, we want to innovate and bring in a new kind of map. We want to be Battlefield 2.
Do you think
Stick
they've
to what
exhausted?
you're good at.
Do you think they've exhausted like map bases, like bases?
Yeah.
I think
You can only do so much, you know what I mean? You can only do so
yeah.
much with it before you need to do a different style, but the issue is the different style doesn't work for Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So,
have you played on Miami Strike?
yes. Fantastic.
What do you think of it?
Fantastic for Respawn. S&D,
it
I've not played S&D on Miami Strike yet, but for Respawn, I think it is night and day.
Yeah.
I think it's much, much better than the original Miami.
I think, you know what, I'll say, I liked Crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the only problem with Crossroads as a hardpoint map was that P4 hill.
Yeah.
You know, because they tried it over by where the P3 one was. That didn't work because you could just link the two together and get a big lead. They tried it out in the open bit, but then you've got like that fourth point was too open. You could be easily taken from the hill. You could easily get shot from mid. It was too open. A decent rework on that map, and just like that, I think that becomes a very nice competitive.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, because that's the thing. If you think about the bigger, like, extended version of Crossroads, right? That's in the Combined Arms game mode.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom of Crossroads Strike, where the P4 is currently, if you go out another, like, 50 metres, there's a building that acts as a hard point in Combined Arms. Bring that building in a little bit, put that building at the bottom of Crossroads Strike, like, next to ice, make it a little bit wider, use that as P4.
Yeah, agreed. If you got a building there with maybe a window that you can nade through, so it makes trophy system a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a lot more competitively viable.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, for me, Garrison would be a better map if you had another way to get to the A-bomb site.
Yeah.
It didn't require, because the problem is with Garrison, particularly when it was an S&D map, was you just could not get to the A-bomb.
No, you had to go through B most of the time to get to A.
You have to go through green. You have to either go through green. If they've got green lockdown or A platform, I'm talking like control A platform, you're not getting in. Said, me and Will were talking about this, and I said, a nice way to have made it a little bit more challenging for the defensive side would have been to have a vent that goes from the P4 hardpoint to the back of A control, so against the tank, because then you're covered by the tank. You can't just be lined up easily. You've got this vent room where you've got this vent that you can sneak through, and it makes it a bit more like a 3-lane.
Yeah, definitely.
So it takes away from green control importance.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, I don't think it would remove the importance of green. Because, sitting top green, you still have a lot of control over that map.
It would remove the power green control has.
I don't even think that. Personally, I think it would more just... Green would still be a key power position, but it wouldn't be stupidly one-sided.
That's what I'm getting at, basically, yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know, man. There's a lot that needs work with it, but time will tell.
Yeah,
Standoff coming in, we'll see what maps get replaced. Personally, I think it'll replace Apocalypse Hardpoint. I think Apocalypse will go because pros just aren't enjoying it. In terms of S&D, it's got to be Checkmate. It's got to be Checkmate that goes. Hopefully they find a way to make it viable for Control. I don't know, but we talked about that last week, so I don't really want to spend too long
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I don't know, man. We'll see. But anyway, we're 40 minutes in. I say it's about time we go over our pick'ems for this weekend.
Yes, sir.
I don't know about you, lad. But first up, you know what? No, we're going to go with yours first up. You go first this time.
All right, let me get it loaded up because you're on my iPad.
Mm-hmm.
You're on my iPad. I'll load it up on my laptop if it's still got any charge in it. You go first. You go first, mate. You go first.
You sure you want me to go first? I can talk you through yours. I can tell you what yours are.
I can hang on. Now I'm already in. I'm in. Don't worry. I'm in. Right. Okay, I've got them here. Right.
Okay.
So Thursday, Subliners Ravens.
Yep.
Ravens have already proven me wrong on a couple of occasions and been able to take a map. So 3-1 Subliners. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know what map they'll take, but 3-1 is the scoreline I think is most likely. And then I've gone for FaZe to beat Thieves. That's going to be a map 5.
You think so? Ooh,
map 5,
okay.
yeah. I think FaZe will shake off the defeat fairly quickly, like they did against the Gorillas. Do you remember that?
Oh yes. See, here's the thing though. After that defeat, they came out swinging.
Yeah, they did.
So
yeah, they did.
Can Thieves handle that? That's the question I've got.
That's that. You know what? Maybe I've gone a little high on the Thieves there. 3-2. I'm gonna stick with it. 3-2.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's locked. I don't think you can change it now. But
well, no, I can't change it.
It's not. You can. It's still unlocked.
I can change it for the people, the viewers.
Oh no, you can change it in the pick'ems. Now the pick'ems don't lock until the 29th.
Okay, yeah.
So
let's move on to Friday anyway.
Yeah.
I think you'll see Gorillas crumble. Like they had an easy opponent in Paris, who are just not performing.
No.
And they obviously had that honeymoon period, but Ultra are just too good at the moment. 3-0, easy.
Too good almost seems like an understatement. Ultra have came out of absolutely nowhere.
This might be a little bit rogue and a little bit biased of me, but Rocker 3-0, Paris.
I don't think that's rogue at all, to be honest with you, mate.
I think to not drop a map for Rocker is incredibly difficult. I'm thinking of how many 3-0s they had through stage 1 and 2. I can recall one, and that was Optic. That was a 3-0. Sorry to bring that up. Actually, I'm not.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. Appreciate that.
Did they 3-0 Surge in stage 1? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
It was a reverse sweep in stage 2, but I think it might have been. So let's just call it that Rocker have had maybe 2 full sweeps. Okay. So this I'm gonna pit them to have another one here. FaZe Ravens on the Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see any other thing but a 3-0.
No, definitely not.
No. And then Saturday, second game was Empire Gorillas. Regardless of the swap, I think Empire have to bounce back and they have to do it in style. 3-0 for me.
Fair enough.
Then we've got Subliners Surge, and see, I've gone with this because I'm still a little bit uncertain on how is this Surge lineup going to change before Saturday.
Yeah,
I'm going to say no because they don't have a sub technically. I don't think they've actually got a sub on the bench. They don't have anyone signed to their bench.
No, I think teams have got to have a sub. I just don't know who Surge is.
I think it's their coach. I think it's Nubsy.
Could be, actually.
I think that's the way they've got it set up. So I don't see an actual roster change before Saturday. And on that basis, we'll go 3-1.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, that's my uncertain pick. 3-1's my middle ground. If they don't make a change, I'm thinking 3-0.
Fair enough.
If they do make a change, 3-2 is not horrendous because if it's Looney, like we talked about,
it just depends on the kind of CU she has, doesn't it?
It does. So I think 3-1 is the best of is an average.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Mutineers Legion. I've gone for Legion this time, 3-2. And that is because I think they're going to have to win one at some point. And Mutineers are probably, in my eyes, the most inconsistent team.
Fair enough. Okay.
I think the reason they beat Rocker is because Awakening and Skies actually showed up. If Skies doesn't show up, they're not even that good.
True.
Here's a rogue pick for you.
This does coincide. Awakening, he wasn't on fibre before. Every other pro's been playing in fibre. Awakening, now on fibre. So maybe that has something to do with the Florida turnaround. Who knows?
This is my rogue pick for the week. This is my Subliners phase part 2. And that is...
I've just seen it.
The Minnesota Rocker are going to beat Toronto Ultra 3-2.
Oh, George, mate. See when we go to the gym later? Yeah. Bring whatever you're smoking, because I feel like I would have some fun on that.
You don't want that in the gym. That's dangerous. After the gym.
on a real note, what?
I'm still not sold on Toronto. I don't know what it is, man. I'm not sold. I think they can be beaten.
Fair enough. Okay.
And I just think, we've seen several upsets. I've got a vibe. I've got a feeling.
I mean, no, fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
I've got a similar feeling to the feeling I had when I went subbies to beat FaZe.
Okay. So, I respect.
I back myself. I'll give you a chance to cancel out that point if you like. And then finally, Optic Thieves, 3-2 Optic.
Okay, I'll take it.
I think that was the result of their stage 1 meeting as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. I think at the launch weekend, it was a 3-0 Optic, a very hot 3-0 from Optic.
Yeah.
Stage 1, I think it was a 3-2. Yeah, I think right.
So. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah.
Fair enough.
A little bit rogue, but fairly standard.
Oh, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Right, now switching over to mine, as you guys can see now on screen, I've went with a little bit more of a quick weekend. I think this weekend is going to be very quick. New York Ravens, 3-0. FaZe Thieves, 3-0. Both of them, I think, very understandable. Don't get me wrong.
You don't think Thieves will take them out?
No. FaZe, like I said to you, they're going to come back way too strong after that loss. They're going to be heated. Crowder will have absolutely ripped into them, made sure that they're going back to basics, playing well.
Yeah.
Arcity is a player like Arcity's in-game leader. He doesn't take a loss like that lying down. He will work on it. He'll want the team to be doing better. So I think Thursday it's going to be 2 quick 3-0s. Friday.
Wow.
Friday, I think Gorillas take a map off Ultra. But I think Ultra win 3-1.
Okay.
I know you went with the 3-0 in that, but I think Gorillas, they're slowly starting to improve. They're steadily getting there. However, dropping Vivid. Was that a mistake? I think so, personally. Will it come back to bite them? I don't know. But Gorillas, they look like they're getting better time to time. So I think maybe sneak a map off Ultra. I think they'll take an S&D. Because S&D really is Gorillas' backbone right now. So I think they'll take the S&D. Ultra, though, I don't think it's even going to be close in the respawns. I really don't. Rocker Paris, no question. Rocker 3-0. They've been playing fantastic last stage. Granted, not a good start so far, but you know what? It's Paris. It's not difficult. Rocker 3-0. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's where Paris.
I think we talked about. I think I texted you about this actually while I was watching it, and that is that the problem they've had is in losses. It's usually one member of the team underperforming.
Yeah.
There hasn't really been too many games where they're all ticking.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think in the hard point and the search and destroy, I think Attach had a few bad games, and then he went off in the control, and then Priester, who had been playing well in the hard point and the search, then had a bit of a bad map on the control, and if they can just find that groove where they're all ticking, I think they're a force to be reckoned with.
Oh no, definitely. I mean, we saw it with that. Granted, it wasn't Optic's best performance either. But Optic's still regarded as a top team. And we saw how well they can play. Don't get me wrong, Standy went huge against Optic.
Yeah, he did.
But like the rest of Rocker, they didn't exactly play bad.
No,
And then
no.
obviously, again, same thing at the major. Heartbreaking loss. Rocker, they played very well. Don't get me wrong. Probably should have went out, but credit to accuracy, he done what he had to do.
We call that the optic corner now.
Yeah, me too.
When we play search, I'm
Me
like,
too.
optic.
Oh, mate. I think you were in the stream at the time. I think this happened just before you came into the stream the other day. But playing League Play, we're playing on Express, right?
Yeah.
3v1, bomb down, and we were just like, optic strat! Everyone runs into the same corner, and we're all just sat in the same corner, like,
Oh my god. Oh no.
where is he? Where is he? Me being the idiot that I am, though, I'm like, wait a minute. Scump and Formal were one shot. I turn round, laser beam both of my teammates, and then they're just like, what are you doing? I'm like, sorry.
And then you get, and then accuracy jumps in. And...
No, we won. We won.
So
Right.
it's not the optic strat.
No, not quite. Not quite. But yeah, so moving on to Saturday, right? FaZe Ravens, again, I don't think there's a question there. 3-0. A hot 3-0. Empire, I'm feeling the same way as you. They've got to bounce back. Gorillas, their S&D is good, but Dallas have had good S&D spells as well. Recently, maybe not so much, but Dallas, when their S&D's on, it's on. Especially with Fellow coming into the team. I think that's going to improve their S&D a lot as well. Bounce back time. Dallas, 3-0 Gorillas. And then Saturday, the Game Fuel marquee match. Subbies, Surge. Surge, too inconsistent. Hydra, just different animal. Clay's leadership. New York look unreal right now. Another quick 3-0. Florida, Paris, quick 3-0 to Florida. Calling it, quick 3-0 to Florida.
Okay, I like that.
Toronto, Rocker, I'm sorry, mate. I've gave you a bit of credit. I've gave you a map, but I think Toronto, they're just looking too hot right now. I think it's going to be a 3-1. Especially with you guys not really clicking to your full potential right now. So I'm sorry, but I think that's a very, not easy, but we will say comfortable win for Ultra.
Okay. My pick is definitely Rogue on that one, but
Yeah.
I'll back myself.
And then last match of the weekend, the big match, the Sunday marquee match, Optic Thieves.
It's going to be a good one.
3-1 Optic. I think Optic, they are well aware that they've been lacking. I think they're looking better now. They're looking a lot more structured. They're playing fundamentally a little bit better. Still, their fundamentals don't look as good as some teams in the league. I think they still maybe rely on their individual talent too much sometimes, but they're getting better.
You know what?
And I'm going to say 3-1 Optic. So I think
go on, sorry.
over the full weekend, we have got, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 games over this weekend, right?
Yes.
I've got 6 of them as 3-0s. I think this is going to be a very quick weekend.
Did you have any going to around
No.
A game 5?
No game 5s.
Wow.
I don't think there's any game 5s this weekend.
It's a bold prediction.
Yeah. I just don't see any games there that are close. I think the closest game would be Mutineers Paris, but even then, I think Mutineers win that.
Yeah.
Even though I've got that down as a 3-0, but you know.
It brings me on to an interesting thought, actually. Uh-huh. So you've said Optic are, going to win that on 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's any stats or whether we could easily work it out as to whether a team who's, let's say, played on the Thursday and then they're playing again on either Saturday or the Sunday, like the Thieves are, whether they come in a little bit hotter than if they were to, only play one game. So, for example, like I say there, you've got Thieves playing on the Thursday, then they play Optic again on the Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Do they come in hot? Do they come in warmed up, ready for it, more so than Optic?
I mean, they've got 2 days in between where they're not really doing anything, so I think that doesn't factor into it as much. Obviously, both teams will be scrimming all weekend, whether it's against teams that are playing to help them warm up or just getting ready themselves for the games.
Okay, so you don't think it matters too much then?
But purely because, if it was 2 days in a row, I'd say maybe. But the first day and the last day, I don't think it does.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If anything, you could argue that it maybe gives Optic more an advantage because they're only playing the one, so they're not going to be playing that weekend. Thursday, they can watch the Thieves game, they can look at the Thieves as they develop, look at their tendencies, that kind of thing.
That's a good point.
If anything, I think maybe it favours Optic, but I don't know.
I'll actually go back and have a look at stages 1 and 2 and see if there's any pattern there.
Yeah, find some stats.
I'm curious to see.
Maybe a good shout. Well, you can have that one for us in the next one. Get that sorted for the next one.
Oh, all right then. Ooh, give me homework now.
Yeah, you've got some homework now, mate. But anyway, yeah, I think that's us. Obviously, we have got the gym, so we both need to go eat. This has been just about an hour, so I'm gonna let you wrap up the show, mate.
Well then, I think we've done well there, mate. It's been a good episode.
Yeah, we have.
Thank you for listening, the people out there. You can tweet me and tell me how good a job I did at the Subbies face pick if you like. Yeah, because it was a good pick. Thank you for watching, and before I forget, don't forget to rotate.
Nailed it!